One, two, one, two. Hello guys. Welcome to another StarCraft 2 livecast. Today it's an in-house session and we're casting in-house games. So on the top right we have Kachar playing Nova versus Zeratul playing Swan. Nova versus Swan. Then we have the Drunk playing Swan versus Swan is so much picked tonight versus Chat Champion playing Swan also. So that's a lot of Swans. But there was some discussion I didn't follow because I was AFK, but about picking old Swan, I think. Then we have Cincy playing Forazon versus Dehaka playing played by Tamilians. So let's go let's go. Hello Destiny. I didn't follow the discussion before. I don't know what they I'll ban Tychus once I get in. All picks. Okay, sorry. I was a bit in the middle of my my dinner when this started, so I was not ready. So, since the opening with Forazon very aggressively versus a Dehaka. So aggressive build for me. For me, Forazon Stalkers are always an aggressive build early game. Because it worked very well versus all kind of fleets, versus all kind of commanders, and it's a very strong early game. But of course it's come here at the price of a tech disadvantage. I mean of a tech that is slightly, that might be lower because we all know that the tech of Forazon is very very powerful. And now the blink back, perfect blink back, and the Kachar will it take in advantage? No, he won't. So Slayer saying 11, you see that perfect micro by Cincy, and RP Zeratul opening with the Goliath, pushing with the single here, little robots, and attacking the turrets. Top team have their laser being down. The level 2 is here already. Level 2 being a +1 damage, plus 10 damage, which is 10 DPS, which is basically a very good upgrade. 3 Cyclones from Chat Champion focusing at the bunker. The bunker will be under pressure, but it will be able to defend themselves. Tamilian opening Lings. Lings very good versus Stalkers. They take low damage. I mean, nothing here is armored, and it has a ton of DPS. Will it be enough for preventing those Stalkers to stacks? We will know soon. The detection is here already, meaning that the Haka is already tier 2, and the Lings actually raping their opponents. Double laser on the bottom team, double time level 2. RP Zeratul is still here on his... I'm not sure if he knew who he was facing. Yeah, he saw the Nova. And Kachar opening Bio versus Swan. Recently, I've been surprised to see. I used to use a lot of a mechanical unit in this matchup as a Nova, and I've been very surprised to see how good Wofe was by playing Bio versus Swan. I thought it was like almost compulsory. Oh my god, this Thor already. Thor first and the perfect barrage on the Cyclones. The Cyclones were very grouped and he could take all of them at once. We know Thor is more of a single target damage unit. It has a lot of damage per shot, but it has its barrage ability who deals... I'm not sure if it's AoE. I think we call it AoE. It's actually an effect, but here here you can see that Forazon added lot of Dark Templars. Dark Templar with the ability of the Shadow Fury does damage, bonus damage versus light units. And so they could take the links pretty efficiently. Now this one, RP Zeratul, that's why he was sneaky picky about it. What was sneaky? Only one Goliath came, but it was because his plan was to go secretly air. The wave was not enough to take down Nova, and now Chat Champion will have some leaks. And the second Thor is here, and this will be very easy for the Thor to take him. Very nice play from Dunk, who is actually taking that Swan versus Swan. Oops, sorry. I have the sound on here. Okay. Sorry. So, Tamilian added Hydra into to counter the Dark Templar. It kind of worked, to be honest. He added also some Roach, a lot of tank ability. When you think of those Roach, I'm not sure how much they cost. I think it's 85, something like this, and it has almost 200 HP. It's crazy good. And here, Zeratul was not discouraged by the answer of Nova last game, and he commits to his build. Air builds. The Marines will be taken down or not. Once they are, thank you for the follow, Simac. um, uh, the, the Marines actually managed to kill the Wraith here, and the Drunk is going on with his build. Now he had some Hellbats to be sure that the Thor have a front line to follow them. Thank you for your subscription, Simac. Very nice. Let's go. And we see now that since he is adding oracles might be able to do something. Of course, the tier 2 roar will be soon here, but it's already here actually. It's already here. But oracles have this ability to tier 2 roar doesn't mean that the oracles are useless. It's a personal information. It is a personal opinion here. But I really use the oracle a lot, even if they are tier 2 roar. I think they can be very useful. But here the bottom team is still in a defensive position. The turret is here to detect the Wraith, but this Swarm Host is still alive. Now Nova invested a lot into those Marines. They are +1 now, and they take the Wraith pretty easily. What will be the plan of Chat Champion? Chat Champion going Wraith to counter the Thor. So will it be enough? It will have to deal with the leaks of Kachar with his heavy Marine build. And will it... Whoa, I don't think it will be, but the Thor are in anti-ground mode now. He also... Drunk is quickly activating the anti-air to be sure that they can hit the air. Often people deactivate the ground mode, the air mode for the Thors, because they tend to prefer... Thor is a better... It's counterintuitive, right? But Tower tends to be a better anti-ground than anti-air. You can see the stasis manual here by Cincy. The goal is to keep the Oracle in the back so that they are less or not affected by the tier 2 roar. And this kind of worked here because the Oracle stayed alive for a bit, but it's not enough to pick 10 million units in the back. The fact that he added Primal is also good. It's a double-edged sword versus Forazun because it can help the Forazun to stack, but it's also giving a lot of tankiness to the rest of the army. Here the army of Kachar is actually still ripping the Wraith. Thor is added because he knows that they are actually committing to this Wraith technology, and at some point he's probably afraid that his Marine don't do the stafflet game, and now RS are added from Drunk, and this is a very, very good choice if you ask me, because it will be also very, very good at pushing into Forazun. And I think this RS is not only good because it's good in the matchup in general, but it's really a sign that he's confident that he might be able to push some Forazun with it. And for Forazun, especially this one, even though you could argue that he has a lot of oracles entities, you could argue that this one will be fighting very hardly those RS. RP Zeratul doesn't change his strategy. He's here for the air. He will stay in the air, even though our opponent is now fully anti-air. To be honest, I never seen this strategy, but I never tested this until the end. But maybe if he commits enough, he will get it. Usually, you don't go full air in the matchup. That's for sure. But the Goliaths are very hard to counter for Swan, for Swan, and I think usually the best way to counter it. I mean, the more traditional way to counter it was to go Thor. That's what I always used. But it's very hard for Swan doesn't have a lot of tools to deal with Nova without any technology. Two laser on the bottom team are trying to do something, but here the Thor stays alive, and Thor will be also very good versus the Stalkers. They kept their barrage ability to be used on the Stalkers, and Corsairs are now added because he can see the Mudas. The Mudas here are really nice from Temilian. It's also a sign that he wants to be able to push into the next wave, and it's for him it's kind of a luck to have that Forazun who allows him to fight in the air, because he will need to fight the air the next round anyway versus the Mass Wraith. So if he can add Mutalisk right now and freely, by the way, for him it's all benefits. And now Vessel are added by Chat Champion, and this might be the options to not only do some damage with the what is it called, irradiate, but also to stack the unit at the bunker. Maybe it will be enough, but here I see a lot of pushing power from all those Thors, and Drunk is adding his own vessels, trying to help the Thors stay alive. And is he still keeping the barrage? Yes, he's still keeping the barrage. Amazing play for Drunk here. Every time I see him playing recently, I've been very surprised by his performance. So he shows us some high level of play here. And Temilian still pushing without the Flings, Hydra and Roach. Some Igniter have been added for some more tankiness versus DT, but now Zeratul is creating a a wall of air unit, and you won't be able to push into that until you have the what it takes to take down the air unit. But Nova is full anti-air. It should be enough. It should be enough because Nova is very good at anti-air. But you can see that Nova has no choice but to committing into that anti-air. But good news for him, the next wave is also mostly air, so what he does is actually useful versus the next air. Hey, hello Destiny, sorry I wasn't reading. He needs Vessel. Ares gets destroyed by Oracle. Yes. But it's still the fact that he went for Ares is still very good to push into Forazon, because it kind of prevent him to try to stack Void Rays or stuff like this. Oh my god, the hole from bottom team. Will it be enough? Do they have the AoE to fight into it? Almost. The Oracles kind of stunned the unit while they were in the hole, and now bottom team is actually creating the stack. Will the game reverse when they will be able to push? Because we all know that the game changed completely when you kind of suddenly take the advantage, and you're, instead of having leaks, you're leaking into the next wave. And now that many Void Rays, dude, that many Void Rays with the help of the vessels and the Voids might be able to take down Nova, and now it's the bottom team who is pushing. This is where the fun begins, shout Zeratools. And Chat Champion stacking with his vessels. And it's true that and Drunk is forced to do, what quick reaction from Drunk, who's quickly add a lot of anti-air. As I said before, the Thor are not the best anti-air of the game. They are just here they're mostly here to take down the ground, even though they are actually because of their decent range, they can stay at distance and kind of heal. The Tyra is here, so Tamilan is already tier 3, and that might be useful to deal with the Oracles and the Corsairs here. Unfortunately, it's very vulnerable to Cincy, the Void Rays here. The Void Rays, because of their range, do well. This is a controversial shop pick. Some people told me recently that they disagree with that, so let's see if we can learn more about that. But the Putping managed to create a stack again, and with the stack, the Wraith for REP, the Wraith from REP Zeratul aka EG seems very weak, and bottom team are still pushing. The RS almost invincible. Lot of base armor for that unit, 3 armor, that's a lot. But a lot of vessel from Chat Champion. You can see that Chat Champion want to play the stock card here. Tira, they will push back. Say Destiny in the chat. So the two lasers working like full time to try to destroy and defend stuff. The vessel trying to create some front line. Even more Void Rays are added. Void Rays here might be able to help because of their range. It's always easier to stack them at the bunker because they tend to stay behind because they have a long range. The range tend to go on while the more they shoot. But on the other side, there is versus Ares and versus Swan in general, Void Rays are not extremely good. I know a second Tyra is added. No, was I crazy? No. Sorry, no, 1 Tira, sorry, and the bunker is down, and now REP Zeratul is in some trouble. Oh, nice, very nice move from Kachar, who is adding Ravens. So the missile, ouch, the missile, so much AoE in the air. It's where the build from Zeratul might lack some late game potency, but Chat Champion is determined to stop the progression. The vessels are here to take the damage from the Goliath, and Drunk is adding a ton of his own Goliath. His own Goliath being good at killing both air and ground at the same time. They have the upgrade here. You can see he's tier 3, so he does it. It will be useful to push into Forazon. And jumping forward from Temelian, trying to protect the rest of the army. The RS will rape the Void Rays here. Zeratul still sticking to his strategy. It's a win. It will go like there or it will not go. That's his motto. It takes down the Wraith. It takes down the Tyra. It will take down the Thor. And it's true that the more ouch, those missiles so hurtful. But the more you have Wraith, the more they function well, right? Because the more you have, the more they stay on the top on each other, and the more they deal DPS, the more they move, and the more they move, the more they deal DPS, because they have this special ability here which multiplies the damage versus the ground by 4 if they are moving. So you want to use them that way, and when you have a lot, it works well, except if you're facing too much AoE, and Nova has some tool to deal heavy AoE in the air. Now Swan is pushing into Forazon, and for Swan pushing into Forazon is usually easy. The drone are added. This will like a final push. It could be the game here. Drone are added, the Thors are fighting the air. It's extremely hard for Cincy to defend versus versus the Swan, versus that kind of composition with heavy mech, with heavy Ares and Goliath. And Zeratul in the last attempt will try to defend this. The Wraith have a slightly longer range, so the Tyra have some trouble reaching them with the barrage of spikes. So will it be enough? I'm not sure. No tanks are added here. The stack is only tried by using vessels. Vessels drains. The strategy of the bottom team is written in stone, and now Nova, who is a fully oriented anti-air, might be able to take down this stack, even though as it's light and Goliath do bonus damage versus armored. The DPS is not enough to kill everything here, so will it help a bit for Azun to create his stack? Maybe the disruptive web on the ground are trying to do their target, but dude, the stack from bottom team here is too heavy. This is too heavy. I mean, I don't know how they could come back. This RP Zeratul will come with his significant amount of Wraith. Oh my god, this is crazy for bottom team. I don't see how they can come back. You see, the Haka coming to hug the Nexus to take all the shot while the other unit does the DPS, and this is GG. Top team take the first match. GG, well played. One second. Okay, so team changed a bit. We have Kachar and Darkwart and EG versus Drunk Cincy and Chat Champion. At one point, I almost thought it would work, but it's true that this strategy was very unusual. You don't go... I mean, you can use Wraith in the matchup, but... it's the first time I see that strategy, to be honest. But at some point, I almost had the impression it would be working. Even though... And I think the game would have been very different if they were pushing, because if you're being pushed, you're much more vulnerable to the AoE. And here, the Raven at the end, dude... If I had 30 more Wraith at the start, thing would go smoothly. I'm gonna random Swan again. Okay, let me. I started the stream a bit abruptly. 1 2 1 2 sounds. What do you think about the volume? Is it good? Music a bit louder? The sound of the game maybe not loud enough. Okay, so I think it's better. Yeah, I'm going to just ups tonight. I have a lot of numbness in my hand again. It's very, very frustrating for me to play. Volume is good. I put the volume of the game a bit louder. I don't think we were using. I'm sure which is most important, the music or the volume of the game or the game. Okay, on the top right we have Kachar playing Swan versus bottom left Drunk playing Swan also. Then we have Darkward playing Phoenix versus Cincy playing Forazun. Phoenix Forazun, okay. Then we have RP Zeratul playing Dehaka versus Chat Champion playing Stukov. Haka Stukov. Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, now I will just check the sound. If you listen to EG, you will lose. Let me check the volume again. Trust. Playing Phoenix for the first time ever. Might be running the game, sorry. This time I will tell my pain. My plan. Maybe that's was my mistake. I feel some kind of sarcasm here. I really would like a fight so that I can just check the volume of the game, because I put it louder and don't know it. Your voice and then the rest is just background sound, not that important. Okay. Okay, we have RP Zeratul opening with Haka. And first fight, and Chat Champion opening blindly, I think, with benches. Let me check the sound, the volume. Oh, too loud, right? Like this. Maybe, like this. Nice plan, GG. What are the team again? I forgot. RP Zeratul. Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck. Dark White. Yeah, sure, okay. Okay, like this. I think like this is good. And Phoenix opening Phoenix versus Forazun. Very interesting match, if you ask me. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Very nice play from Sync here. And now he used the dash, so he has two choices. You know, Phoenix has three options here, and you cannot use all three of them. He can use two of them, basically. You can choose which two. He doesn't have energy. He has 500 energy, so he can use two of them. I usually like to use the World and the 500 HP more, but a lot of people use World and Dash. What if you made one bunker? Yeah, he would have eaten it, and Haka would have a huge buff by being able to eat it. Okay, and Kachar now opening Cyclone in Swan versus Swan. Cyclone's taken down. Cyclone counter a lot of things in Swan versus Swan. And now Cincy opening with even more Stalkers. And this time, I think using the world is very good for on Stalkers who just blinked, because as soon as the blink is over, you know they cannot blink again, so they kind of fixed here at the same position, so the world kind of do a lot of damage. And now, but since he here is trying successfully to create a stack, and Chat Champion is adding links, is adding Marines. He doesn't want to add bunkers. He prefers to add the Marines separately, even though usually the Marines are in a better bargain in a bunker, because the shell of the bunker only costs 100. But here, as the shell is massive, you know that if Haga can eat the shell of the bunker, I mean the bunker himself, he will get the huge buff that will reverse the damage basically to the opponent army, and that's very strong. And now Drunk is opening the Thor, which is his favorite opening in the mirror, and I think that's very strong. And now Darkwise opening with Tal'Darim. Tal'Darim has this advantage as a hero that he does some AoE. The dash plus the world, the fixed hero will take down the Centurions, but Tal'Darim is also a very expensive hero. I think it costs between 500 and 600. And Tyra here from Zeratul. Tyra here, he wants to get rid of the benches that way, and which is not the most common strategy, and it's a bit greedy because you need tier 3, but Tyra shoot air and ground and does AoE on the ground, so it's very nice to take down the Marines here that he added. Kachar opening. We have some how do you call it? I'm not sure how you call it. I can feel some yeah, sarcasm and remontrance in French from the last game from Chat Champion. The Thors are actually doing pretty efficiently, and here we have Phoenix using her roll on the leaks, and now while Sensi starts his air transition, some adepts are still here to do the damage versus Centurion DTs and also to shoot the air. The aggressive blink from Cincy and bottom team is pushing. Naga eating, Stalker still stacking. More and more Marines are added to the fight. The laser from Kachar is doing his best. And now the Cyclone will be able to defend versus Stukov. And 3 towers now, 3 towers, which means 3 barrages, and that's a lot. But Kachar almost, no, not almost. And Darkwat's starting his air transition. And air transition early game is a bit weak versus Forazon, but it's really a strategy that can work. You can see the Centurion coming one by one, trying to stun everything here, but the carriers will not be able to do something here. Maybe if they stack with his ally. Second Tyra from a RP Zeratul. Blink back from the Stalkers. Even more benches and infested marine are added. This Terra is a beast with 1.5k HP. Will it be enough to take down the army? No, it's not. The benches tend to stay at too much as a distance for the barrage spike to be efficient. So it's hard for Tara to reach them, but he has an air attack separate from that. And now, dude, I'm not sure if the ability of I don't think they stacked the barrage cannon, but I think he used them successively to do the maximum damage. And then for carriers, it will be very hard to damage the Thors. The Thor have some base armor, I think, 1, 2. So for the carriers, 5 base damage, it's like a 40% damage reduction in terms of DPS. Forazon still with his aggressive heavy Stalker build and Centurion build trying to do damage. Will the carriers stack at the bunker? This will be if at one point the Stalkers, the carriers can stack here at the bunker, it will be very difficult for Stukov to fight it, at least with the current army that he currently has, because nothing here are really good at countering carriers, and the range of the carriers make it very good. Kachar going on with his heavy Cyclone build. RS are added here, so RS will solve the carrier problem that he might face if you want to push the next wave. And here the Colossi are added, and Colossi will be more efficient versus Thor than versus this wave than carriers. Carriers are probably better versus Forazon and the Stukov, but even though versus everything actually, the Colossi is another way that Forazon has that he can use to help to try a stack. EG EG being EG, and you know when EG has a strat, he will stick to his Tyra strategy and will do Tyra. So Tyra are good versus Marines because they don't take much damage. They have a lot of base armor. I mean, not that much actually. But they are not that good versus the benches because even though they shoot air, the barrage spike cannot reach them. So he won't be able to take him down, and Kachar will have to deal with the leaks again. And no, he didn't change the side of his RS, but I think everything is the same in his build. The Thor raping the opponent army. And no, this is still a Colossi, so no Warbringer. He has a range now. So with the range, it's more likely to be able to stay alive at the bunker. Will it happen? We don't know. But actually, it does actually the damage, which is actually pretty good, killing almost all of them. And without this Colossi, I'm not sure if it would have been possible. But here, Forazon putting a lot of pressure. I mean, he almost doesn't fight his wave at all. And finally, Eric is adding some Hydra. Hydra being decent versus the benches, and also helping versus the Void Rays, and being an overall good unit of Dehaka that can shoot the air. But at this point, maybe he would like to try to stack creepers, something like this, because I don't see how they can really push back at this point. They will need the help of the bunker. Here, Kachar put the Thor in air mode to be sure that he can get the the leaks killed pretty easily. They won't come back. He can't go carriers and needs carriers to come back. So yeah, he would need carriers to come back. Carriers would be very good to come back, but Warbringer now. Still committing to carriers. I mean, the build of Dark White actually making sense here. He wants to create the carriers, as you said, Destiny, but he also wants to be sure that he can deal with the leaks. The Warbringer are very good versus the Stalkers. The carriers, he do a lot of range in it. So Dark White cannot do it now, but his plan is to, like, maybe not at the bunker because it will not be possible, but maybe it will be at the Nexus. But he wants to be able to create that stack and stack with his ally. His ally is RP02, has a lot of frontline units, and he has a lot of backline units. So maybe if his army can stay alive and until the army of RP02 comes, it can help a lot. It can help a lot, but the mass bench is here doing a lot of work, and I don't see RP02 coming back to that. Kachar still on one Thor, adding Hellbats. But you're doing amazing job with his Thor versus the Cyclones. Okay, I can appreciate that Dark White keep on with his air strategy. Like it can work. It can work if he commits long enough. He does the armor upgrade. I'm not sure if it changed something here, but the attack upgrade is definitely worth it. Oh, finally, Creeper Host from RP. So now top team has something to create a stack. Now top team has something to create that. They have Creeper Host. They building carriers. Swan doesn't have any vessels or tank for now, but maybe Swan is the pushing power in this scenario. The bunker has been infested, contaminated, but it still has stayed alive. More RS are added. RS would be so awful to deal with for Dark Knight, because RS are awesome versus carriers and the whole. And the bunker will be down. I don't think how they can defend that. And the more there is RS, the more I don't see the actually top team coming back into the game, because Drunk understand the importance of adding RS if you want to push into that Dark White, who is obviously trying to stack his carriers. And the Tyra and Thor actually being very decent versus Tyra, because Thor, as I explained before, are more of a single target damage. It's only their ability who deals AoE and deal efficiently versus a type of target. And right now I don't see how top team can come back. They didn't create the stack. Now it's too late. The RS are here in place, so Dark White will not be able to stack his carriers. The benches, the queens are added. Now we are tier 3. Queens are added to do damage for 2 single target units. I think he tried to hit the Thor at some point. The Planetary Fortress is actually low HP, and it will be taken down, and GG. Thors are crazy good in mirror. I didn't expect them to work at all. Usually, I'm not even sure. I often open with RS or Wraith, but I have to say that I would like to. I would know how the Thor versus RS fight would go. Maybe Thor win? I don't know. I need to test that. Yes, he was very committed to the Cyclones, but and he could have defended the benches with the Thors. But it's also true that sometimes you never know. I mean, there are some units in this game that requires a critical mass to work, and sometimes it's worth it to try harder. Game gave me Dehaka versus Sukov, it news. But Dehaka versus Sukov, I would say it's at least balanced. At least balanced. I wouldn't say that Stukov is like very favored. Team are sets, guys. I'm sorry. I'll shut up for a couple seconds and eat a bit. Okay, so on the top right we have Kachar playing Statman versus Drunk playing Phoenix. Interesting games. Abathur played by Dark White versus Eric Pizarro playing Abathur. So Abathur Mirror here, and Champion playing Haka versus Kachar playing Horner. So very interesting matchup. I think it can be a pretty balanced match, even though the last lane has advantage for the Haka. But it's easy, so we never know what you're gonna do. And it doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. I'm excited. I know it's not Eric Pizarro. I was wrong. This is Chat Champion. So, Eric Pizarro opening with his roaches to scouts. This guy has a mission. Putting on the side, going close to the bunker, and then the Haka from Chat Champion going. He will discover Horner, and right now he knows that he's favored in the matchup, and that the fight might be about air. Now Phoenix from Drunk still doesn't know who is playing. And Statman here. I know he understands that it's versus Statman. Will he use his ability to kill the air? We don't know. And so Pizarro opening with some Muta, putting the pressure on the ground. Because Muta do bonus versus armored units. And Abathur has a lot of armored units, but Amateur also a lot of units that is good versus Muta, especially Mass Muta. The Queen are bad because they're armored, but the Swarmhosts deal with them very efficiently because the Locusts are light. And of course the Ravagers, if you do too much, the Ravagers kill any big clump of Muta very easily, and Vipers too, of course, later in the game. But a couple spreaded Muta can be good in the matchup, even though, yeah, the Swarmhosts usually prevent any heavy use of Muta. But what is nice also often when you use Muta as Abathur is that you can convert them into Guardians. You can create a reaction that can become useless, and then a lot of links are added by Kachar, and a lot of links are actually pretty hard to deal with by Phoenix. This is one of the reasons why often Phoenix choose to fight this matchup in the air, because on the ground the links take only 10 damage, which means they are almost invulnerable to anything that unit can throw at them. Here are some vials. What is he aiming with the vials? I didn't see. Where did the vials go? Ravagers on both sides, which is probably the most standard way to play Abathur's Mirror. And Kachar staying on the ground. He doesn't know, but yeah, Chat Champion going air. Straight to the air, which is not always the case as Haka, but here Haka chose to go straight to the air and force the fight in the air. I recall you that Horner doesn't have any unit that go ground to air except the mines, so it might force the oh, what? Okay, a lot of adepts. Drunk choose to do a lot of adepts. Adept being not that good versus nothing here and vulnerable to. Oh, nice! The nice world, being vulnerable to the lurkers because of course lurkers do AoE on the ground, and Adept tend to overkill links by a big margin. 22, it takes only 10. And now the Abathur versus Abathur fights. I don't know this player, Dark White. I don't know him, but every time I see him play, I think it's a standard player. Every time I see him play, I'm surprised by how we have similar play style. I think we often I often when I see him react, I said, hey, I would have done the same. Even more adept at it, and the scout. This scout will probably become Mojo to stun the Gary, and some links are added. Why did he add some hydraulics? Did he anticipate any air transition? Probably. I guess, or was it too pushing? No, I'm not sure. He anticipated, I guess. The lurkers are trying to kill the hero. Lurkers being both good at doing big damage versus a single hero because it does a lot of damage per shot, but also does the damage on AoE. So it's also good at killing small units like the adept, so which make the lurkers a very versatile unit. Top team still pushing. Will this go? And now the Viking here landing. He wants to make them stack if possible. So Viking will stay in the air. The Galleon is training some random stuff. This will not be enough to kill those Muta, but nice blink. We can recognize that from Kachar. And oops, the mine. Vikings being very very good versus anything Honor has. And to me, the only real combination to kill them is like maybe BC when you're tier 3, but mines and Viking can work, but you need to stack them and have some good Viking macro. Here the lurkers killing the adepts, and Immortal is added. I don't know why. I don't understand. Is it to kill the lurker? It's only armored unit on the ground, but everything else is so good versus Immortal that I don't understand this decision. Here's some bilateral on both sides, but the biles from Darkwatt were more efficient. He also had the advantage because he engaged the fight before. He didn't have the leaks. All his unit is in orange now. Will he use his mana? No. He just wants to kill the swarm host and make sure that there is no leak. For Honor, it will be very very difficult to deal with those kind of biles. Especially that he has a bad matchup right from the start. The Queen is staying alive for long and the Muta are now masked. And this will be very difficult. Did the Honor has the mine? He doesn't have the mine? Fuck, dude. This is your best protection against the Muta. So Honor is very weak versus the Muta. But it seems that this one forgot his tower. And the tower of Honor is one of the best of the game, if not the best of the game. And they are especially useful versus the Muta. And I think he forgot it because I don't see anyone of them. And so bottom team right now is pushing very strong, but as the Haka went for full Muta, and Muta are very bad at pushing bunkers, especially the one from Haka who doesn't have any damage against armored. I expect them to not be able to kill it anytime soon. Not anytime soon, but maybe they can. Bottom team can still hold a bit at the bunker, which might be a chance to come back. The Abathur versus Abathur fight nevertheless seems to be pretty one-sided, and the Ravager will be able to snap those with bile, I think. So I take it back. They might be able to kill that bunker right now, right here. And will it be the case? Yes, it will be the case. But the Foreign Battlecruiser is now added. But dude, I don't want the Haka to eat that. The Haka will eat that. Oh my god, but bottom team is very, very, very difficult. Okay, now Caldalis is added, but dude, more adepts are added. The adepts are actually the only unit that Drunk can do versus the Mutalisk, and maybe that's the reason why he added them in the first place. I was confused at first. Maybe he added them also to have some versatility and strength into the build. Versatility, I would say. Now, but I don't understand why the Hydra is here. Does he use Hydra versus anti-ground? To me, Hydra is a pure anti-air unit. I mean, not pure anti-air, but his strength resides in his anti-air, in his range, and his bonus versus armored. Intensive curve, good job. Thank you, Hachashka. So now, Corsair trying to play the sacking card. You can see the wonderful blink here from the Vikings. Air Pizarro also playing the sacking strategy with his biomass ravagers, but the Muta ripping everything. Will it be enough to be defensed by Phoenix? I think it will, because there's a lot of adepts here, and adepts tend to be very good at Muta. Muta does bonus damage versus air units, but not versus ground units, which make them usually very vulnerable to ground to air attacks. A second immortal added. I don't see what this is for. The only armored unit here is the lurker. Maybe it gives some tankiness. Maybe it's for, I don't know. I don't understand. He will explain us after the match in an exclusive interview. Now the builds from Dark White are much better, but they are also I take it back. Very nice answer from Zeratul. But also it's much better to take the fight from Dark White because he's pushing, so he has a very, very nice concave, while the unit from Abathur are just all clumped together because they had to fight a wave of the leak just before, and now Kachar is trying a different strategy with the Wraith, which are usually not better versus the Mutas, but I don't know. Changing the strategy might bring something here. But dude, I don't know. This mass Muta is really, really hard, and forcing actually Junk to do even more adepts, but I don't see more adepts. I don't know what he's doing actually. What is Junk doing? Is he going to tier 3? I don't know what he's taking, but if he doesn't do more adepts, he will just die right now under the but what can Drunk do? I mean, what can Drunk do? Because he will have that Mutalix for a long time now if they want to push back. The biles from Zeratul killing Gary, killing the Hydras. Here we have the Creeper Host stacking with it, and of course it's a huge advantage for Dark White because he didn't have to use the bile before against the leak. So when Dark White arrived to fight his Abathur versus Abathur, he's all bile freshed up here. Okay, now go back to the battle cruiser strategy. So maybe blink back to avoid any hits. No, he blinked a bit late, and but dude, this is almost impossible. And now the creeper hosts are very okay. So he wanted to go tier 3 and add a Warbringer, so Warbringer will make sure that nothing on the ground will survive, but the problem, unfortunately, it's not the ground, it's the air. And those mass Muta is almost impossible for someone like Junk to counter it. I mean, it's just too strong. And Phoenix doesn't have a very good Muta counter. His best Muta counter is the Adept, and the Adept tend to fall short late game, especially when the AoE come. Kachar still without Super Gary, adding even more Hydra. Still not sure how this move works. Kachar trying different type of unit with different strategy. Dark White adding Guardians telling himself that he can maybe stack them. He added Hydra, I guess, on purpose because Phoenix was usually does air. Yes. But I felt like he's keeping adding Hydra. I mean, look at that. But yeah. And without air, it doesn't matter. Phoenix gonna lose even against Hydra. Yeah, maybe. He gonna make Ultra soon. Probably. But remember that I don't think Setman Ultra doesn't have anti AoE, so it's not that the Lurkers are actually doing a better job at killing the Adepts than the Ultra would probably do. Even though Ultra are very good in the matchup. Here the Hydra the Hydra help versus Honor. I don't play Haka, we play random. They played random. But very nice play from top team until now. But now there's a significant amount of Swarmhosts that are stacked by RP Zeratul, and some of them are golden, which means that they might be able to come back. Those Swarmhosts also have the ability to fight the air, so it might be of a significant use against those amount of Muta, which is actually pretty big. Will he blink back to avoid any hit? No, he won't. It has also this reverse damage here now, because Haleha hits something massive, and now maybe a fire breath here. Yes, nice on the Adepts. The cloak on time, and some more scouts are added, but for Phoenix it will be extremely hard to fight this air. And now okay, no Ultra comes soon. So you were right about that, Chashka. And actually the Hydra now being kind of useful to fight Phoenix because he's sending scouts, and I guess for the Arbiter, and maybe even for the Colossi. Even the Colossi are also very good versus Mecha Hydra. Vipers are now added, and this is very scary for Abathur, but it means that it can be used on the Ravagers. And now full BC, blink forward, and try to save the Swarm hosts Very nice food from Kachar. Will it be enough? I mean, this is a significant amount of army. Will it be enough? Will the host survive? This is the only chance of bottom team to go back into the game. Drunk is adding even more air, and air will be his gate out of the jail card. If he has enough air, he will be able to fight Kachar, even though, as you explained before, Kachar has so many Hydra now that it might be able to defend, but Phoenix has Colossi, so maybe there is still a hope in there. The Swarmhosts are still alive, even more Swarmhosts are added. The bites are launched here on the Hydras in 2 groups, killing Gary, killing the Hydra. Swarmhosts still alive. Dude, this is a Swarmhost farm here. They are raising them, breeding them, and yeah. But the other team also playing the Sarking card with the Creeper Hosts even more present now. The Creeper Hosts are very annoying for Horner here. I mean, they attack the air and they are actually pretty good versus Capital Ship. They don't kill them, but there is only a couple of them. He doesn't even... He did 4 of them, so he didn't invest his whole army into that. It's just an additional nice thing that stays in the back and will attack everything that is in the air. And as air is the get out of the jail card from the bottom team, it's very, very annoying for them, and I don't see them coming back anytime soon. Phoenix is still here having energy. The Warbringer is still trying to do stuff, but the Ultra will actually charge that Colossi here, and some bites are launched by Aeroprisoner tool. I don't think it will be enough now. The top team has a stack that is just too big. Even with the Ravagers and all those bites, he is not able to destroy them. I wonder if he still has no Super Gary. Yeah, I don't understand either. I think it's very useful in the matchup, especially if there is a Mojo here. There is no Mojo, but it's also the more you have unit, the more Super Gary hits fast. It's called the best oil ability. It's the best oil perk. The more Super Gary recycle unit, the more its attack speed increase. Will the top team be able to stack something at the Nexus? It's their last chance. Right now the Nexus is fighting all he can for his life, to save the bottom team. He knows his job. His job is to help his army, the army of his ally, to the Nexus. I'm talking about the Nexus, right? To help the army of his ally to create a stack, to maybe protect them and allow the long range units to stay in the back. And now actually a small push by bottom teams. Will it be enough? Some Muta are added here. The Muta are not taking the shot from the Hydras. All those biles here, the BC are still alive. And no, Brutalisk is added. Brutalisk, very good unit late game in Abathur versus Abathur, and will take care of the Swarm, because right now the priority of top team is to actually destroy this fucking wall of Swarm hose that is really constructing. So Brutalisk, having AoE, will try to handle this task, but top team is really coming back again, and even more Swarm hosts are added, and now the Swarm hosts very, very annoying for Horner. I don't see how he can come back, but there is even more scat. Oh, so here you can see that the Drunk kind of used the ball on the Mutas. So he wanted his Warbringer to be able to actually clean the ground while the Muta are kind of and he was hoping that the Muta will be taken in charge later by the Nexus here, maybe. But dude, oh shit, okay, this is it. I think this is it. This was the final push. Super Gary is finally here after 18 minutes of wait. The Hydra are confused, but they are here shooting at everything they see. The Swarm Creeper hosts are here, and the Nexus is taken down. Well played, and GG to top team. Super Gary is super good. Yes. BC are bad versus hosts and Creeper hosts. Yes, especially in the Yamato mode. I mean, Creeper hosts, you have Creeper hosts, yes, and yeah, very nice play. I will not talk during the breaks because I'm eating. I will just delete. How do I delete this message? Why can't I? Shit. Okay, 3-minute breaks. Why can't I see the message I was supposed to delete? It has been deleted already? Maybe it has been deleted already. Thank you. I guess we do one more than done. I will do one more for the party. Petit G in my team. Sure. I need to hear his plans. I don't think you guys are ready for them. What does DW mean? Me drunk. It's dark white. Okay. EG chat Kachar. Okay. Okay, guys. I'll let you reflect on what's happening. Oops, mic was on. And then you hear me eating. Okay, let's go for the third game. We have on the top right, Kachar playing corner versus Eric Pizarro playing Hartanis. Then we have Drunk playing Mengsk versus Chat Champion playing Carax. Carax versus Mengsk. And then we have Darkwalk playing Abathur versus Nova. So, advantages for top team according to the matchup. We have Eripis Ratul because of Mengsk and Abathur. We have Zeratul opening Dragoons and then Drunk opening with some Trooper for Mengsk. Troopers being the most versatile unit of Mengsk, because you can unequip them and equip them with other weapon or even convert them to a hound, which means that it's not binding at all. You can see his control group, he makes 2 groups. I don't know why he selects just some of them. I don't know what he's supposed to micro with that, but to me there was nothing to micro. Corsair opening an aggressive build with Marines. You see this has been probably microed to stay in the back. He microed the I guess he microed the Energizer so that it will energize the turrets and then go back with his team. And now he can help the Marines to push that bunker. So blind opening with Marines as Nova, so very aggressive build from Nova. The Energizer is putting all his strength to try to destroy the bunker, and the mines are finally put down. Remember the mine, I think we haven't seen those in the last game, and it would have helped bottom team tremendously as 3rd Dragoon is added by Zeratul. He doesn't know who he's facing. I think was trying to ignore that Dragoon is a very versatile unit, so he's just adding a couple of them, and now Carax opening air. And Carax, no, it will be a very difficult matchup for him because Mengsk has a lot of options that is very difficult for him to handle. One of them being the Pride for Sigrad, which is very, very difficult for Carax to snipe. And of course, Carax can even be a threat on the ground. Even more, I didn't look the macro that Chat Champion did, but I guess he's just, maybe here he energized this so that it stays behind. I know we have the Marines that can be energized by this magnificent power coming from our ear, and the Marines take down quickly those swarm hosts. Now we have the opening with air opening from Kachar, which want to bomb down those Dragoons. Dragoons, I'm not sure if you knew the matchup, but Dragoons have this advantage, they can handle both air and ground. Dragoon are also very good versus Wraith. This upgrade from the Wraith is so important. It's a shame, but the Wraith don't do much if they don't have it. It increases the attack speed, which is attack, and truly improve by a large margin the performance of the Wraith. For Kachar, pushing with air into Chat Champion will be a pain for it, because Kachar Chat Champion is now choosing the ground path versus Stukov. And here the is it tier 2? Not sure. But if it's tier 2, it will be very hard for Mengsk to push into that. Now Roach are added. Roach very good anti-light and very good anti-marines in general. Now the tier 2 is launched from Kachar. It will use Nova as a front line with his shield to try to kill the roaches, but with that many roach, with that many armor, and one who has biomass in it, it's almost impossible for Marine to kill that, because they don't have enough DPS per shoot, damage per shoot. Zeratul is adding even more Dragoon to try to handle the Wraith. Dragoon very good versus Wraith. Dragoon good versus a lot of things in the air that Honor has. Maybe it has some deficiency against some ground, but it's good versus almost a lot of things that Honor has in the ground, in the air. The strategy of Kachar being just to bomb them, and Chat Champion committing on the ground, using annihilers to snipe big units, but actually he doesn't have much to counter he had a couple of Sentinel to deal with the Marines. And Chat Champion will be powerful with these powerful annihilators, which are probably the best immortals of the game, to push into that Abathur. Kachar keeping with the Marines. Marines are not very good in versus ground Abathur. He's probably having them because he's scared of an air transition. I guess that's the main reason. They are versatile unit, they are good. They can help versus the leaks. They will not be good at pushing into honor, that's for sure. But he would protect into any surprise mutant transition, which is something that Nova is always feared of when he's facing Abathur. Now the Archons, much more unusual in the matchup, because it can become useless depending on what Kachar does later on. Orbit Strike stand on the Mirage, and that for me shows me that Chat Champion knows that at some points he knows that the PoE will become a problem, and he knows that he hasn't seen any Royal Guard in it right now. So Drunk is keeping his XP for something big, for something important, and Chat Champion knows that this is probably the PoE, and PoE cannot be snapped unfortunately with the Annihilators, with their Shadow Guards ability, Shadow Cannon ability. They can sometimes snipe units that have very high HP, but the one who can blink, and PoE is one of them. The blink or the teleport, it's called, I think. The teleport from the PoE can actually cancel the dark shadow, the shadow cannons, and that makes it particularly difficult for Carax to actually kill what's that. And the fact that now Mansk is going for a pure ground build with the threat of going air with his PoE is extremely difficult for Carax to deal with. Now we can see still no Royal Guard unit. So now at this point Chat Champion knows. Chat Champion knows that he's screwed because there is still no Royal Guard unit. So it means it has to be the PoE. He used his Annihilators to try to snipe the Swamp Host in the back. It's very well played from him. He just tried to do just enough Mirages to kill what's here for the Mutas. He put them slightly more in the back because he doesn't want them to die to the troopers. And now the Ravens very good in the matchup. This I never seen a Nova versus Abathur like this. For me it's very uncommon play on both sides, to be honest. Both what Corsair and Dark White does are unconventional for me. No, he adds mines. Ooh shit, that's a perfect, that's what I call a perfect beam. I've never seen a beam that well placed to for a long time. And now Zeratul can easily take down the rest, but now the PoE is here, and this is something that I'm really wondering how bottom team can do on. Let's see if he can snipe it with the shadow cannons, or will he blink? Yes, he blink. So very well played from, but he didn't overcommit to it. So actually, he's actually doing great. I'm surprised. I didn't expect that because he didn't overcommit to the first shadow cannons. And wow, I have to say I'm pretty much impressed by this one. Chat Champion some very high level play here, and of course the Annihilators being extremely good at pushing into the armored roaches that you can see. You need like a ton of Immortals cannon to take down the Proudon. Yes, and the teleport is an issue. Alternates will help. And the Liberators are down. I just don't. Okay, Liberators are down. Kachar trying to bomb those fucking Dragoon, but Dragoon are very resilient and it's very hard to kill them. He doesn't do a lot of damage to them. The Archon serves the front line and try to do some AoE damage here on the ground. Will it be better now with the second shot? But now the Zeratul having a disintegration on the Pride of Oseguard. He just did one probably just to disintegrate that shit. It will help a lot. Chat Champion doing the same, waiting for the teleport to actually use his Shadow Cannon, I think. And yes, and now he's killing it. It's actually very good. I love the fact that Chat Champion really doesn't overcommit for the first round and try to find the perfect margin to be able to actually snipe it. I'm not stealing that shit. Keep it. So now Chat Champion is referring to the fact that he can control his I'm not sure if he's tier 3 or not, but he can control his the Pride of Oseguard with his Energizer, with a reclamation problem, and now the second Tempest is added, and boom, the Strike Fighter is on the ground. It's not that impressive if you ask me, but the disintegration are very useful versus big units like the Vikings here, but the mines are still staying alive, and the host is still staying alive in the back, and that will make things difficult for Carax, who actually. But the disintegration part on the Pride of Oseguard, and that disintegration of the Pride of Oseguard is crazy good, because now Carax doesn't have much to do to just kill it anyway. But top team still stacking with their Swamp Hosts. The Swamp Hosts are uncontested right now. Maybe he needs a Colossi with something like this, but he knows that Mansk has a Sky Furies, and he can deal with any Sky Fury pretty easily. Deal with any Colossi pretty easily if he doesn't have a front line to protect him. This Swamp Host plus the Guardians field stack now becomes pretty scary. The Guardians are added. Guardians are added. Strike fighters on the dragoons. He's still committed to this strategy and touching with the mine. Very nice play from Kachar. The help of the locust from the Swarmhost is very appreciated. I know the carrot transition. So you want something that shoots the air maybe, or you want to create a stack with the carriers and the tempest. I don't know. Oh, he blinked, but Drunk blinked too early, so now he knows that he cannot blink anymore, and it's very easy for him to take him down. And the biomass Swarmhost here, the little units from the air from bottom team try to stack again. The tanks is added. Tanks will help for the Swarmhost. He used the Liberators for the anti-air. Dark White doesn't use any Ravagers, doesn't use any Vipers, doesn't use any Muta. For it's pretty easy for Kachar to push into that with his army. It's a bit dangerous. All of them are focused on Mengsk and not on the rest. Maybe. Even more Tempests are added. The Artanis shield his army, and he's trying to do a difference here. The Tempest will do great versus the Viking. You can see that the disintegration have hit almost all the single Viking in this game. Even more Mutalisks are added here to create a front line. The Lings on the side in the box shape to make sure that it serves as a mid shield. Just some. I can appreciate the cooled blood of Chat Champion, who just doesn't overcommit to the first salva of Shadow Cannon and know when to stop. And even more to add, but now the dark white Swarmhosts are stacking behind the bunker, and this might again create a stack that only this bunker he's here can maybe deal with it, because it will allow him to stack even more too. The Liberators are also trying to fight the air. Here the strike fighters are uncontested. What will they choose to fight? They still want to fight the dragoon, not the tank. And very nice strike fighters fight from Kachar. Now Swarmhost is stacking. The Tempests are putting disintegration as they can. We know that Honor's Vikings are probably the best in the air, even though the integration from Artanis tend to compensate partially that shit. Now there is the beam. The teleport from Drunk is a bit late. Will it be able to? But now it's at the mercy of the Annihilers. But the stack from bottom team and the Sky Fury is down. It's very difficult for Chat to deal with that. The bunker, the Guardians are actually stacking. Even more Biomass Roach, even more Swarmhost. There is still no Colossi. The tanks are only still one tanks, only no Colossi. So the Swarmhost will become an issue right now for bottom team. The Kachar put his army in fight mode to fight a bit the Guardians, then change his mind to actually fight the ground, the Locust, to make sure that the Liberators stay behind. The more he siege them early, the more they stay alive. And actually, the second tank is come here for Kachars. They want to take down the Swarmhost, the disintegration on every single Viking here, to making sure that they will die at least at some point with 500 damage over time. And now the bottom team is still holding. And the tank will be also very annoying for Mengsk, because Mengsk now has focus on more on the ground, but the AGs are here to destroy everything on the ground. The drones are launched by Kachar. He wants to create that stack, he wants to keep that stack, he wants to keep his army and the allies of his army pushing the top team, and this is crazy. Bottom team is doing it. Oh my god, this is amazing cloud from the Viper here from Abathur. Will it be enough to stop the progression? No, a third tank is added, and all those Swarmhosts now become a liability, because now versus that many tanks that they cannot reach with the Viper. So Abathur did the Vipers to actually reach those tanks, because Abathur realized at which point those tanks are a threat, because they can stack. The Swarmhosts tend to make them live longer, because they tend to stay in the back, because they have the range, an amazing range of 18th range. This is crazy. It means that they will, as long as there is Locust, they will stay in the back and just shoot at things, staying alive for a long time, and annoy Mengsk, who is no force to add Aegis Guard, and use his Sky Furies to attack the Tempests, which are massive and very vulnerable to Sky Furies. But the Sky Furies managed to put one disintegration here and one disintegration here, making sure that both of the Sky Furies are dead when the Chat Champion arrived with his support carriers. And now the Chat Champion is trying to snipe some units, but the stack of Swarmhosts is still pretty impressive. There is still 3 to test the siege of the tank a bit early. the Marines are, of course, are actually didn't pay it off because there were no Marines. In that game. The Guardians are pretty light in the composition, and now his siege, he tried to be annoying for Horner, but Libers are not the best. You need to push into Horner, but the tank are staying alive and the carriers are stacking. Top team is still putting a lot of pressure. We can see that bottom team took more gas. They have now 7 gas in total, while top team has 4 gas in total, which is almost a double. And they have made in addition the bunker stay in the back. The Tempest stack begins to be scary, and they have awesome range, and even versus Manx it tends to be very good because Manx have the Furies, of course, which is 1 disintegration, 2 disintegration. This one is not disintegrate, but might die versus the actually no, he's staying alive, and this Sky Furies that has not been disintegrated is actually staying alive. No, it doesn't, and Junk's ship is almost died here. And finally died. Nice cloud from the Vipers. Abathur forced to use the cloud on the leaks, and but doing all he can, what he can, to try to make his swarm hosts survive. Now the carriers, drones, kind of helping everyone. The drone from Nova trying to help everyone. Everyone is kind of trying to bottom team. Everyone's army is trying to heal each other. There is still the Libs trying to do damage. He doesn't want to overcommit to it because he knows that Liberators are not very, very good at pushing into Horner, especially a Horner that invested that much into anti-ground. There is no way that Kachar will sell his Viking soon. He needs it because Zeratul went for a lot of Tempests here. And the tanks are staying alive, killing the host from distance, and this tanks begins to be a big of a problem for Manx, which is a good composition, even if he has a lot of light in his composition, even if he has Aegis Guard to kill the tanks, begin to suffer a lot from these tanks leaks. And right now Tempest could not disintegrate that, so it's a Chad champion's role to actually kill it. The bunker is trying to be sniped, but there is not enough Shadow Cannon to do it. He doesn't invest so much in the carriers. The Ironagers are trying to help his ally. A 4th tank is added now. And he knows that he's in good point. He's in good shape now, of course, because the Viper don't reach the tanks, and if the Viper don't reach the tanks are not really contestable by Abathur. At least not at this point, not like in this scenario. I mean, of course, Muta can do something, but here Corsair is prepared with a lot of Marines, with some Ravens, and he can defend against that. RP Zeratul doing all what he can to use disintegration on all the Viking that he could. He really wants to make them survive. The drone from Corsairs help the army. They really want to keep some disintegration also from he kept 1, he kept 2 disintegration for Manx. Very awesome play, but the Swarm hosts managed to stay a bit longer, and for the Swarm hosts are very annoying to deal with for Carax. It's actually now very difficult for him because there are still the Aegis Guards that are staying alive, and of course the Furies is very dangerous for him. The Dark White is using his cloud on the leaks, which is unfortunate because now he cannot use it on his own wave. It's where he needs the most, but to be honest, there is no way that those Vipers would have stayed alive long enough for them to deal with the tank. Corsairs knows it and use this as much as he can to make his end actually worth it. The tank will also deal with the Abathur, with the Horner's Ground, with the mines, everything like this. We can see Nova here going sneaky peeky and try to kill a Swarm host while everyone is looking somewhere else. The Vikings here trying to disintegrate everything they can. Maybe a disintegration also for the bunker. A disintegration for the bunker, please. No, yes, no need. The bunker will go down. The disintegration for the Sky Furies, for the Pirate of Sigrad. Tanks staying alive. The Lynx trying to do their best. There is not enough Honor Guards to actually deal with them, and they kill the French line. Now Junk wants to do a Black Hammer. The Black Hammer is controlled by a sentry, which and then died after. It's always dangerous when you control a unit that is as big and as powerful as the Black Hammer, to make sure that it doesn't, you don't help him to stack. But here he was able to kill it after the fight very easily without letting him stack with the army. That amount of Swarm hosts tend to be useless now. There is not that many tanks that are uncontested. For Honor, it's very hard, even though Honor can still do a full air switch, which would be difficult for Corsair to actually counter if he decide to go for mass by PC, because Corsair use a lot of anti-ground. Corsair here is responsible to take care of the Swarm host. RP Zeratul going on with his Dragon Tempest strategy. But dude, top team is actually stacking again. We have a disintegration here. Tier 3 Galleons have more than... Oh, he's not a Tier 3 Galleons. That's why he doesn't have the drone. I thought they had more than 50 HP when they... Did I miss something? I thought they had more latitude when they were using the assault drone upgrade. The Corsair are helping his carriers here to stack and to do the damage, but carriers are not that good at killing Colossi. He added the Colossi. So now he thinks, hey, the Furies are under control. Sorry, the Furies are under control. I can add Colossi. I want to help Corsair with his tank, getting rid of the Stormhost. And that's a very big move. It means it's in confiance, and he has his trust that his ally Zeratul can actually deal with the Furies, and he can also snipe up with the Annihilators. Tanks are sacking, dude. This game is insane. The bottom team did an amazing comeback in the strategy, and now Drunk cannot push the Tempest with his Sky Furies. I mean, he can kill a lot. I mean, disintegration takes a lot of time to kill a Tempest. So while the disintegration is activated and the 500 damage are slowly dealt, the Sky Fury can kill a lot of Tempest. But now with the Colossi added, all the army of Dark White become kind of almost useless, and he doesn't have the Viper to defend them. The stack of top team now is crazy. You can see the drone for Nova as added. The tanks here are still here. He wants maybe he delays the siege of his tanks so the tanks can siege a bit more forward. Galloth are added because Corsairs know that now the problem it might be the air. It's the only last chance of Kachar. Maybe he sell everything for BC. He's prepared for that. The tanks are added. The Galloth are added, and the Nexus go down, and very very well played to bottom teams. GG. What an amazing game. Galleons regenerate Basilic. Okay, thank you. They have regeneration ability which shouldn't work when you use it in combat, but it does work. Okay. Yeah, I knew that the Tier 3 Galleons doesn't die from disintegration. I thought it was because they had more than 500 HP. Maybe it's that disintegration thing. And that changed a lot of things in the matchup, to be honest. Okay, let me read the comments because I was a bit behind. He met Furies. No, just snipe everything is emo. Manx is holding them at that point. Corsair always had Libs versus the other. Oh, really? Absolutely useless unit versus host. Yeah, I was surprised too, but I have to admit that he managed to make them stay in the back, so they did stuff actually. Dark White is she. Dark White is she though. Okay, sorry. Galaxy P only Arrogance Mask. Well played. Do we stop here? It was an amazing game. I love this game for being able to do some back and forth like this. I think it was it's crazy. It's not that you're behind in economy or that you didn't have meat for a long time that you cannot win anymore. It's really about technology and coming back. A couple more stuff to do, so. Is Kachar looking for other people? Because I cannot stay too long. I need to go to bed early tonight, so I haven't finished eating, to be honest. So maybe we stop here. Yeah, but I don't think there is any money. I don't want to wait because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do tonight, and I still need to eat and go to bed early. It will take some time, I guess, to find some people to play in houses, right? I mean, I can stay for one more game, but if it's play now, so it will be next time. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone. Thank you very much. It will be better next time, and I'll be playing next time. Hopefully. Yeah. So thank you very much. I will now read my friend Vafé. Réglage du contenu, retourner sur Twitch, Jen, comment on fait ça déjà? So please subscribe to his channel if you haven't. It's really nice. It's a very nice one. I will put those videos on YouTube and on my channel, I think. Up. And yeah, have a good evening.